Welcome back to round number 3 of our Gym Challenge League Challenge here in Pico Rivera, California. Dennis Geisler, Ben Mont here with you. Again, round number 3, both these players at 2-0. One more and they will at least have a chance to bubble into top cut, the top 8 cut we have today. It is Brenden Moses and Alexis Harrison, both staples here in SoCal. Brenden Moses, as you can already see, is running a very fun Pokemon that we all love here, Bastiodon, the Iron Hands, Ogerpon Hearthflame, Grimmsnarl, Chenpao, and that Miraidon, Terra Fairy Choice Specs, with Electro Drift, Dazzling Gleam, Volt Switch, and Draco Meteor. Alexis on the other end, Landorus Incarnate, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Raging Bolt, Amoonguss, Pelipper, and that Calyrex Ice Rider, Terra Poison, Clear Amulet as the item, Glacial Lance, High Horsepower, Trick Room, and Protect. What are you feeling? Bastiodon coming to this matchup?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, we're getting Bastiodon.
Yeah, because you can, Sandsear, you can, deny that. And then, of course, the Glacial Lance, you can get rid of. But the Pelipper also has White Guard, and that'll be helpful against weight. Is there any spread?
Dazzling Gleam, I guess, on the Miraidon.
Oh, right.
Which is meaningful, because the Terra Fairy, being able to stop Miraidon from doing that is important.
Because it's spec, so it's locked into it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can kind of force a switch there. That would be great. But other than that, the Pelipper may not see too much use.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know if Alexis has the tools to take advantage of a Miraidon that locks itself into Dazzling Gleam. I guess you have Landorus, because it... I guess Landorus and Raging Bolt, which can kind of stop it from locking into its electric moves, and it doesn't necessarily want to lock into Draco, and so you want to click that Specs Dazzling Gleam, but we'll see how that actually plays out in practice.
One thing that I'm a little curious about is if a Sludge Bomb without the Terra, would it remove the Terra Fairy Miraidon? I don't know if it's tanky enough to take that.
I don't know. I always underrate how tanky Miraidon is, but that Sludge Bomb does a lot of damage.
Landorus pretty much exists nowadays just to check Miraidon. Mm-hmm. At least that's how I feel. Without the Terra, it threatens it with Ground, of course, and then with the Terra, it can threaten it with Sludge Bomb, because that's the set that normally gets ran.
Yeah, and it'll have the opportunity, too. It's going to be the Urshifu Landorus on Alexis' side.
Oh, wow.
Brenden with the...
clicked that and it's happening.
I love the quick locks. I love when people do that.
They know exactly what they want to do, and it's happening. That's my favorite type of player.
No, I love that. It's something Gio did a lot.
Confidence is always...
Yeah, well, and it's always good when you see a lead and you're like, this is what I do against this lead. I don't know if it'll work out, though. We'll see. It's going to be the Urshifu using a U-turn up into the Ogerpon, getting out of there. Yeah, so it is the fastest thing, and it is getting right on out of there.
Yeah, don't want to be in front of that Miraidon, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense. Oh, no.
Ooh, Pelipper coming out.
Oh, right, because, thankfully it locked Draco and not something else.
Yeah. Well, and you can kind of figure that it's not going to lock an electric move in front of Landorus.
Landorus
will not take that.
Yeah. I think we would have seen a Sandsear coming.
Yeah. I think that's obviously it's rough to lose your Landorus immediately, but now I think Alexis can very easily bring in the Calyrex and just start clicking buttons.
Right, because it's locked into Draco Meteor.
Yeah.
I have a strong feeling that this Miraidon will not stay on the field much longer.
But the problem is, if you switch out the Miraidon, you're taking a bunch of damage on something else, and losing a lot of momentum and stuff. Bastiodon will take a Glacial Lance for sure, but it'll just be a kind of bad... It'll feel bad.
Is it not gonna set up Trick Room?
You could certainly set up Trick Room. I don't know. You can kind of go either way on it. I don't think it's super necessary to set up Trick Room at this moment. Especially, I guess Alexis doesn't know it necessarily, but... Bastiodon, you have Foul Play, but...
It's kind of a rough situation to be in here for Alexis.
Well, and also, I think Bastiodon underspeeds Calyrex, so even if you...
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you set up the Trick Room, then you get Foul Played, which is not fun. I'm curious how this is going to play out. It's going to be the Terra Fire on the Ogerpon, going to get that +1.
Yeah, that's going to be big.
And it'll
hopefully this Calyrex... Alright?
Yeah, the Calyrex, I mean, I'm curious what'll happen if Calyrex doesn't Terra, because it's still full HP.
Oh, it stayed in. Oh,
okay, Miraidon stayed in. Draco Meteor misses the Pelipper.
I feel like the rain will maybe let it live.
Yeah, there's rain here, so it's mitigated. Okay. Yeah, it'll certainly take the hit. Right. Pelipper with a Hurricane into the Miraidon.
I feel like they were waiting a switch there.
Potentially, but Miraidon's gone.
Yeah, that's going down for
It is absolutely dropping there. Ogerpon will take a decent chunk as well. And I mean, with the restricted out of the way, you have to feel decent as Alexis. I mean, again, you don't know exactly what's in the back. Yeah, you get the attack boost. I mean, Ogerpon is kind of locked into trying to deal with Calyrex.
Yeah, exactly. And having the rain up is making that a little bit harder.
Knock the mic, sorry about that. Yeah, the rain makes it a little bit more difficult. I mean, at the end of the day, Ogerpon has to click its next Ivy Cudgel into Calyrex, and that'll make it pretty easy for Alexis to deal with the rest of this battle. Again, this is kind of assuming... I'm actually not 100% sure that whether... No, Bastiodon's got to be slower than Calyrex. But Bastiodon will take a hit from Calyrex, because it is sturdy. Calyrex is just going to protect, actually.
That makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense. The Woodhammer into the Pelipper. Will this pick up the knockout?
Oh, wow.
Sure does. How much recoil is that going to do to Ogerpon, though?
Oh.
Not enough to knock it out, although it does put it into pretty low HP range, and there is a Scarf Urshifu in the back.
Yeah, we have Urshifu coming back. What is even... I mean, it's...
Again, I don't think this is a bad spot for Alexis.
Right, because Miraidon's gone now, Urshifu is kind of not too worried about being in here.
Yeah, is there anything... I mean, there's nothing Urshifu is scared of clicking Surging Strikes against, and...
Right, I feel like we're just going to...
So you can just click your Surging Strikes and try to hit the Bastio.
Especially because Ogerpon's still... I mean, because it Terra'd into a Purifier. That's what I meant. So it's neutral, so there's no way it's surviving anything.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of damage that... I mean, at this point, Brenden has lost the Miraidon and has next to no HP left on the Ogerpon. Right. There's not much damage you have into the Urshifu. And even if it's just...
Okay, here comes a Terra.
Need a Terra here.
Maybe the Urshifu?
It might be the, Terra Poison Calyrex. I think it's fine to keep the Urshifu like this, because you don't want to make yourself a little bit more susceptible to foul play. Because I think you want to keep Urshifu. Urshifu's kind of bulky right now.
Right.
Weirdly.
Let's see what happens. I honestly don't know what's going to happen this turn.
Because we're going to see the Surging Strikes,
That's going to go down.
And the big question here is, well, one, how much damage? Because... Calyrex is going to click probably high horsepower into the Bastiodon, which will take it down to 1 HP.
Right. Oh, I was like...
In a minute.
I was like, oh, this Surging Strikes, it was good. It was a crit, and I'm like, oh, wait.
That was a crit, and also, I guess, didn't matter. I mean, it certainly would have done the same thing regardless. We'll see if the foul play takes out the Calyrex. It does, yeah. I think it was still fine for Alexis to try that out.
So now Urshifu has to win a 1v2, which...
It sure does, but it needs to win a 1v2 against two Pokemon that just aren't very good. Grimmsnarl with the Spirit Break is the scariest thing here.
Good thing that setting up screens doesn't really do anything.
Setting up screens doesn't really do anything. Thunder Wave sets a win condition, but I think you just have to click Spirit Break and hope. I think that's probably your best plan of attack.
If he Terras, I mean, it's neutral damage, but if he doesn't, then once he Terras, he's getting neutral from foul play.
Yeah. Okay. Surging Strikes into the Grimmsnarl.
I think this is going to take it out.
It's going to be pretty close. Ooh, I think it's not going to get there, yeah.
Oh,
9 HP.
Wow.
9 HP remaining.
Oh, that's devastating.
See the Spirit Break here. How much is that going to do? Good damage. The question is whether 2 moves from Bastiodon can get it done. Body Press? Ooh, that's going to be enough.
That's going to be it, I think.
Not much that Urshifu can do against both of those, and it's probably going to be by literally 1 HP that Brenden is going to pick this one up.
Yeah, we're going to see a very interesting game too, though, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. That was obviously a very close game 1. We'll see the Surging Strikes finish off the Grimmsnarl, and
come in and finish the job.
Yeah, Bastiodon's going to finish it out. 1 HP on the Bastiodon, and the only one remaining. I mean, we all know that Bastiodon's greatest Pokemon, so not a surprise at all.
Of course.
But Brenden Moses with the Game 1 victory. And yeah, that was, I mean, obviously super close at the end there, and did come down to just a couple points of HP on that Grimmsnarl.
Yep.
And I do think that it will probably affect a little bit about how both of them play game number 2, because...
I wonder if we're going to see the Landorus again.
I think we probably will. I think the Landorus honestly worked out pretty well, all things considered, because... at the end of the day, it meant that Calyrex was able to get in safely and get a big Glacial Lance off.
Yeah.
I think the question from there, I mean, I think if Alexis could have had one move back that would have changed everything, it would have been the Hurricane into the Ogerpon. Because if that was instead a Weather Ball or even just a Hurricane, or excuse me, into the Miraidon, because if that was instead into the Ogerpon,
yeah, it would.
That's a win. That's a game win.
Right, because they hadn't Terra'd yet.
Yeah, it had Terra'd at that point, but either way, it would have picked up the knockout at some point with the Glacial Lance on top of it.
Okay.
If it had to Wood Hammer as well and knock itself out of the rest of it, like if you can get the Ogerpon out of the way slightly earlier, you win that game.
So we may not even see any Pokemon change.
I don't think we necessarily will, and that's also the question where it's like, does Amoonguss do anything for you here? Not especially. Does Raging Bolt do anything for you here? Maybe. Raging Bolt could maybe participate.
Taking advantage of the Miraidon's electric terrain could be useful.
Yeah, you definitely get a little bit of a boost from, like a bit of a damage boost from that, but also, I mean, you're hitting...
justifies bringing it, right?
You're also hitting against a Assault Vest Iron Hands. That's not going to do anything. You're hitting against a Grass type, Miraidon, which is the same type as you, which doesn't take anything against electric. Even Bastiodon doesn't... kind of shrugs off the electric moves decently. Exactly. So...
yeah, so I don't think that really justifies bringing it at all.
Yeah, I think the same 4 and potentially even the same lead could be useful for Alexis. Maybe not.
There's a possibility we see instead of the Grimmsnarl, maybe the Iron Hands?
That's certainly true as well. The Grimmsnarl really didn't do a lot. Obviously, the Grimmsnarl won the game at the end, but also it didn't really do a whole lot throughout it, and Iron Hands probably would have...
In the face of Urshifu, it kind of just folds.
Yeah.
At least in the water one.
Mm-hmm.
In the face of the
not very close. Ooh, it's going to be Amoonguss, though.
In the face of the single strike, Grimmsnarl was doing a lot more there for your break.
I don't dislike that at all, because now you're able to pull away a Draco Meteor, and, I mean, you're guaranteeing a Sandsear Storm.
I think we're going to see a Volt Switch in the Amoonguss.
Yeah.
Everything
gets kind of leveled by Sandsear Storm here. If Amoonguss can keep Landorus around reasonably well, this is going to be real tough.
I didn't see exactly what Brenden put for his Miraidon.
Yeah, I believe it was the Draco into the... into the Amoonguss.
Oh.
We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. It's giving me the Amoonguss switching out. That's a clever little play. I wonder if it was just to dodge the...
This Pelipper's going to go down.
I think the Pelipper's going to go down, but I don't know if that's a big deal. Yeah. Again, I think Alexis is just kind of playing around... I don't know, making this... you lose Pokemon sometimes when you're trying to play this way, but you're able to get big damage down. There is the Terra Fairy, indeed, for the Miraidon. That is an early Terra and a defensive Terra. There is the Draco Meteor.
Not going to survive.
Yeah, not going to take that one. I'm curious now how much the Ogerpon Wood Hammer is going to do into this Landorus. That could be game deciding, potentially. It's going to Sandsear Storm first, actually, and do a pretty solid chunk to both. Wood Hammer into the Landorus.
Wood Hammer.
Pretty good damage, but...
He took that decently well.
Yeah. Still, I mean, Landorus takes it, and now it's an awkward spot for Miraidon to be in, because, once again, here comes Calyrex, presumably.
Yeah. And there's also the threat of the Sludge Bomb coming in, of course.
Or even you could just bring in the Amoonguss here, because you know both of them are locked into single target, or you know both of them can only use single target moves, so they're not going to be able to find a hit onto Landorus regardless, and so you can just click Sandsteer again. Amoonguss probably takes another hit, and you can feel pretty good about just using your moves here.
To redirection.
Ogerpon is immune to the Fraser powder. Yeah, that's tough, actually. So yeah, just the Calyrex then.
Yeah, I was like, well, it's not.
Yeah, yeah. So just the Calyrex then, I suppose. Once again, you're in the rain. You know that you can't get hit by the Terra Fire Ogerpon this time, so an Ivy Cudgel will do probably like half the amount of damage it was doing before. And that could be the difference in this entire game, because you also know that Glacial Lance is going to take out both these Pokemon.
Exactly. We see a Terra. I think it's going to be on the Calyrex.
Might as well, and just take the hit even better. Yeah. You know you're probably going to Terra it anyways. There's not a whole lot that can abuse Terra Poison on this team.
Right,
like, there's not a lot that can say, oh, that's a Terra Poison Calyrex, I get to hit it with so much damage now. And Landorus protects. I think that's smart, because one, you get both of the boosts onto the Calyrex, and two, Landorus gets to stay around. And we love Landorus. Yeah. And this Ivy Cudgel is going to do, like, nothing.
Okay,
like,
it's going to be with a little bonk.
Yeah.
He's going to be healthy.
That was a crit.
Yeah,
to be clear, that was a crit.
He's at +2, which is...
Oh! Ooh, Miraidon does take the hit.
Wow.
It's interesting. I don't know if it matters. Because Miraidon is at -2 already. Like, a Draco will take out Landorus, I suppose, but...
That was huge.
It was, yeah, it's significant. It's certainly significant.
Huh.
It would have certainly been better for Alexis if that Miraidon dropped there.
I don't think it's going to be, like, game deciding or anything.
I agree with that, basically. Because I think Calyrex can still just keep clicking its moves.
Exactly.
And again, there's not really a whole lot that threatens it damage-wise at this point. Because Terra Poison means that it eats the...
There's nothing that's, like, gonna hit it for super effective left.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything that hits it for super effective on this team. Like, is there anything that hits poison? No, no psychic, no ground. Like,
yeah, that's it.
Landorus switches out. Amoonguss comes in.
Okay, that was great.
Iron Hands with the fake out into the Amoonguss. So yeah, just takes the little Rocky Helmet chip. Miraidon with the Draco into the Calyrex.
Already, right?
It's at -2 and it did a lot of damage, but Calyrex eats that hit and gets the Trick Room up.
Oh,
that's real nice.
I feel like we're probably gonna see a Spore into this Iron Hands.
You don't even gotta. You could go for the side Pollen Puff. Heal up the Calyrex.
Oh, maybe.
And really end this one.
Yeah,
I think the Heavy Slam is really the only play. Yeah, there's the side Pollen Buff, and Calyrex is going to get a lot of HP back.
And this Glacial Lance.
Oh, that is a lot of HP. That was a lot of HP on Calyrex.
Well, it's usually 50%, right?
Yeah, it's so much HP.
This is probably gonna go to
that Glacial Lance did a lot of damage. Yeah, we're not getting pizza for a while.
Oh man. Hey, the Pollen Puff thing kind of looks like a pizza.
Amoonguss kind of looks like a pizza.
Oh my gosh, that did so much.
Yeah, Heavy Slam's still pretty good. Amoonguss not a super heavy Pokemon, but
right.
It's not going to mean a whole lot. This game's over.
Yeah, this, well...
Bastiodon!
We're going to see a high horsepower, I'm pretty sure.
Probably, and I mean...
what's the...
Well, and that's the thing where it's like, what can you do if you're Bastiodon right now? And you're like, okay, I could Wide Guard and stop it from being a Glacial Lance, but like...
You have to be worried about what's
then if it's next. Then if it's not a Glacial Lance, I'm just done. I mean, the game's done anyway. I think Brenden kind of gets that. Okay. Yeah, Pollen Puff into the Bastiodon to break the sturdy. Yeah, there's the high horsepower. That's funny.
Yeah, this is going to be...
and I think Iron Hands drops to Rocky Helmet Chip here.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So...
Chilling Day like it matters.
Yeah.
And here it goes. Takes out the Amoonguss, but it's not going to matter. Yep. There's still a... Oh, no. Yeah, there's still the Elandris in the back, so it really does not.
It definitely doesn't matter, especially because Iron Hands is gone. Game 2 to Alexis, and we're going to Game 3.
All right.
Yeah, I think that... I like how Alexis played that game too, and I mean, I had doubt on the Amoonguss, but it certainly did provide...
Did its job.
Yeah, it certainly did its job. Like,
being able to set up the Trick Room and then heal himself up, that was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and at the end of the day... I mean, Alexis seems to be... I mean, both games, Alexis basically just sacrificed something to Draco Meteor, and then let Landorus play the rest of the game.
Exactly.
And it's working. And I wonder if Brenden will say, okay, I can't... this can't work anymore. and try to click something else, even like Dazzling Gleam, even if you have to switch out after clicking Dazzling Gleam, because there's a Pelipper there.
He's locked Draco Meteor both
He's
games.
only clicked Draco Meteor with Miraidon. Hasn't switched out or anything, or hasn't successfully switched out or anything, just clicked Draco Meteor, and it's gotten rid of some Pokemon, but it's also given an opportunity for Calyrex to switch in and kill everything.
Oh. Are we going to see different... Oh! The Chen Pao.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if things switch up here.
Okay, it's just the normal set for the most part. Yep, there it goes. Magical Crash, okay.
Yeah. It's pretty standard Chen Pao setup, but it could, I mean, again, you don't really have a lot that threatens the Landorus here. Like, in general, you don't have a ton that threatens the Landorus if you don't bring Chen Pao. And so that will make it a lot more viable to, like... Yeah. It means that there's so many threats immediately on the field for Alexis to deal with, and I don't know if Alexis has a way to just go, oh, I sack one thing and the rest of my Pokemon do the work.
Right.
Like, it might just be, oh, I lose all my Pokemon right now.
Yeah. The Chen Pao here is good because they brought... I'm getting the players' names mixed up, but Alexis brought the Urshifu Game 1.
Yeah.
But then didn't bring in Game 2, so I'm assuming that they're not going to bring the Urshifu again.
Yeah, I'm curious how she wants to play this one out. It's going to be Amoonguss Landorus again as the lead for Alexis. Same as what won game number 2. And there is the Chen Pao Miraidon.
And this Chen Pao is a little scary for both of these Pokemon.
It certainly is, especially when you also have to consider that Draco Meteor. Like, I'm pretty sure that there are KOs on both these Pokemon, both of Alexis's Pokemon, on the field right now for Brenden. You can Terra out of it, but you're using your Terra pretty early to do that.
Okay, we have the Ice Wall Crash on the Landorus right now. Oh, the walking code.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a
Landorus.
Terrible decision, because I mean it certainly gets rid of Landorus. You know Landorus is out of the way.
Oh,
there's the Rage Powder,
the Rage Powder,
and I like that Rage Powder.
I think it's going to go down to the Ice Wall Crash.
It's going to be close. Amoongus's do take a lot of beatings, and it does take it. That is huge for Alexis because the Draco Meteor goes down as well. Hey,
going to get the drop.
Salutes to Amoongus. It did its job.
It did its job.
And now Landorus. I mean, it's gotta hit Sandsear Storm here. Double hits it, and does hit both of them, and brings them down to very low HP. It
doesn't take down the Miraidon.
It doesn't take down, it doesn't take down the Miraidon, it doesn't take down either of them, but it might have already done its job. Yeah, because it's going to be very difficult for either of them to take out Calyrex at this point, especially if Calyrex clicks Terra. Like, at this point, Calyrex can click that Terra Poison and hit the big funny button, and
exactly.
Feel pretty good about winning this game.
Sandsear was so big for the Landers. I don't even know the accuracy. Is it like 85?
I think it's the same as the other ones, which I think is like 90. Is it 80? I don't know. I don't know.
But if it's not 100% accurate.
Yeah. If it's not 100% accurate, it's 0% accurate, except right then when it hit both of them.
Yeah. Hitting those without the rain is scary.
Yeah, now, if you're Alexis, you feel pretty good about the direction this game is going.
Exactly, yeah.
You can Terra either of these Pokemon here. I mean, you still have to worry a bit about Chen Pao, because it is still Chen Pao. But you now have two Pokemon on very, very low HP, ripe to be eaten by the Glacial Lance.
Yeah, because both Miraidon and Chen Pao are faster.
They sure are. Miraidon's going to switch out. I think that's a smart decision. You have to preserve that damage somewhere.
The Iron Hands
and the Iron Hands is good to bring in. And you get that Quark Drive.
Of course. The threatening a Fake Out next turn.
Yeah. Gonna get Alexis's Terra. Which one is it going to be? It's going to be Terra Poison, I know that much.
Yep. It's on the
It will be the Calyrex. I think that's the smart decision here. That's what's going to win you the game in the end, so might as well do it now. And again, nothing hits poison super effective on this team. Chen Pao's going to protect, so no KOs this turn for Calyrex, which is disappointing for the Calyrex. And Landorus does protect, which I was wondering if that was what Alexis was going to do, because you could protect
and then...
It makes
the most sense, because
it does make the most sense.
Always threatening an Icicle Crash.
It does, but at the same time, now you know that Chen Pao can Icicle Crash it next turn. That was a lot of damage.
Gosh.
That was way more damage than I thought made any sense. That was like a lot of damage.
I think they're bringing down the Miraidon.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah, you have to feel actually pretty good. I guess the thing here is Alexis has to consider whether Calyrex is going to get fake-outed.
Okay, so...
Which is the big concern. And if it doesn't, it has to feel pretty good. But I don't know what Calyrex can do other than just, click the big button. Alright. It's going to be Miraidon switching in here.
Miraidon's going to go down, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, if Alexis clicked Glacial Lance. If it was Protect, then no. But it wasn't Protect. There's Icicle Crash into the Pelipper.
Okay, live.
It takes that. Ooh, and it's
It was Trick-Room.
Yeah. I mean, that's just as good as Protect at that, or just as good as Glacial Lance at that point, because now you just click Glacial Lance now.
Too great for Brenden.
You do have Sucker Punch, but that does not do very much damage against these Pokemon.
I don't think it would take down the Pelipper.
Yeah, I don't think it would take down the Pelipper. It certainly doesn't do anything against the Calyrex that you actually need to deal with.
Right.
And at this point, is there anything that's happy taking a Glacial Lance?
No. Everything is either neutral or...
Pelipper just protects, blocks the Sucker Punch even if that was the plan.
Down, even though it's...
Yeah. Yeah, I went for the Sucker Punch into the Pelipper. Went for the Protect there.
Glacial Lance, yep, there it is.
There's the Glacial Lance, and Alexis, the horse march to victory, feels imminent.
And if the Iron Hands takes as much as it did from that last one, it's not looking too great.
Yeah, you do have the opportunity to fake out. You can stall out a turn like that, but... I mean, stall out a turn to do what? This is a +2 Calyrex, and you don't have damage against it.
Thankfully, Brenden has not terrored yet, so he can tear the Ogerpon to live a potential Hurricane.
That is certainly true, although you could just go for Weather Ball into that slot, and it's reasonably safe. I mean, the big issue is, this is Terastallized Calyrex in the rain. What are they going to do to Calyrex? What are these Pokemon going to do to Calyrex?
And
not much.
And there's still Landorus in the back.
And there's still Landorus
it's
in the back.
It's full HP, I'm pretty sure, right?
It sure is, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And I mean, these Pokemon don't do anything to Landorus.
Yeah, it might just be, not great.
Yeah, I think you have to fake out the Calyrex here, but the problem is okay, you click you fake out the Calyrex, you do all this, and then what? And then what do you do next turn?
Right.
How do you knock out this Calyrex?
It's still full HP, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It might not be looking too great.
Heavy Slam doesn't really do that much to it. Everything else is resisted. There's the fake out. Little bonk. See, the Pelipper does actually get the Hurricane off, Pretty good damage. Confused? No. Yeah, it certainly would have taken it, if it didn't Terastallize. But now, I mean...
But now it's...
Glacial Lance probably takes out both these Pokemon at this range, right?
And you're not... Iron Hands won't be slower, right?
I don't think so, but even if Iron Hands is slower, what does it do?
Not much.
Mega crit, Heavy Slam or something?
Sure.
5 times damage crit Heavy Slam?
Quark Drive. I don't know how much...
Quark Drive has dropped down now. It just dropped off.
Oh, did the... Oh, it's gone. Oh, man.
So, I don't really see the plan, and I think Calyrex is still slower.
It's slower. It might be... Yeah.
Does it take out the Ogre Punch? Sure it does. Alexis Harrison, with the 4 Calyrex knockouts, picks up the victory. 3-0 on the day now. One more and she'll guarantee herself into Top Cut, already in the bubble range. Brenden Moses, 2-1. Still a strong opportunity to make it through, but yeah, it's another Calyrex Ice win today.
Yeah, it's very well done.
I think 2-1 on stream so far, counting round number 1.
Correct. Yeah.
We'll see how many more Calyrex Ice Riders we'll see today. We've seen a lot
it certainly
already.
Is popular.
Yeah, I mean, and you can see why, especially in this matchup where Alexis is just like, okay, something is going to drop on my team. It might be the Landorus, it might be the Pelipper, it might be the Amoonguss. Something is going to get knocked out. And once it does get knocked out, I will have the opportunity to click Glacial Lance and win the game.
Yep.
And that's all you really need.
Yeah, very well played from Alexis.
Yeah, very, very well played, very well piloted. We are going to now take a quick break because I really want to eat pizza. I'm really hungry. So we will be back for round number 4. Don't go anywhere.